After midnight, Mr. Eric Clapton. It might even be Sir Eric Clapton, but really doesn't matter in the big picture. Stay on RadioStyle. Hope everybody out there is having themselves a great day. Enjoy every moment. You know, it's funny. I traveled again, and on the trip, found out some pretty bad news from a friend of mine, and then on top of that, had an experience on the way back on the airplane, sitting next to me. And it was just a very powerful, profound kind of message, lesson. Universe, like, oftentimes, a lot of people can say this as I was pushed out, right? And I would have a hard time seeing how it is. But that being said, whoever, if you want to, if that's how you want to see this, I'm totally cool with that. The way it works for me, or the way I typically see it, is a lot of times universe has neat little messages, neat little reminders, things to help maybe put things in perspective for me. Maybe sometimes I'm working too hard and it's nice to see something, maybe something that's just someone's relaxing while I'm toiling away, and it's just like, yes, I need to work more of that into my life. I need to lower the stress, right? So sometimes I get reminders of things that are far more important than where my focus maybe has been. And in the big picture, I think there's always kind of this message. I mean, really, for all of us, big picture. And a lot of us have had reminders throughout our lives, but I certainly had a powerful one, two of them for that matter, and thought I would share, right? Because we, a lot of us, especially while we're trying to manifest, we're trying to work through creating something or living life in the void of something that we'd like to have, or living life seeking to create, living life looking to have something that maybe right this second we don't. So we focus on it a lot. Got a lot of focus. We're concentrating on it. And sometimes at the detriment of other things in our life. Sometimes maybe we're not paying attention to our careers. Maybe we're not necessarily paying attention to our friends. Maybe we're not paying attention to our kids. Because we're so focused on trying to create this outcome that we've kind of forgotten to look around and notice what's going on around us. So to get to it, and this isn't meant to be a bummer thing. It's one of those where it's meant to be a reminder. And I think the first part was kind of a bummer, but this is the way it came. And the second one was more of an inspiration, oddly, but still a bummer. A bummer as an inspiration. And I'll cover them both. So apparently I reached out to a friend. I got a friend right now that's gone on leave. He had a big part of getting me back to the company I'm at. He's just a really terrific guy, just a fantastic, he's a buddy. I absolutely adore this dude. His heart's in the right place. Him and his wife and his two kids, it's just a beautiful family. Just seeing them together, the way I know he loves his wife, it's just amazing. Well, she's gotten ill, and he's kind of taken an extended leave from work. So I reach out Thursday. I was out, like I said, I was out in Texas working again, and just, in the middle of stuff, and it's just like, crap, I got to reach out to Chad. I had a couple people that were mentioning him and wondering about him. So I text him. I push it out there. Bam. Hope everything's okay. You got some good news to share. We're like, what's going on, man? How you doing, dude? How you doing? And reasonably quickly, I hear the text message come back, and I was in the middle of something. I was trying to finish it up, and I was just trying to get to a place, and I knew it was him. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to check that in a second. I'm sure something great's happening. Send. Cool. Go and open the phone. Mind you, I'm in the middle of a meeting. Literally, there's like 7 people in the room. And I look at the text message, and it was from him. And upon reading it, I literally yanked the cord because I was charging my phone. I yanked it out, and I said something, wasn't cussing, but it wasn't something that's office friendly. And I literally got up, and I walked the hell out of the room. There was one person in the room that was pretty aware of the situation of this friend of mine and figured it was probably that. And ultimately, I found out that his wife had passed away on Tuesday night. I found this out on Thursday afternoon, or Thursday noon-ish. And it crushed me. It crushed me because of just how quickly literally within 3 weeks, 4 weeks tops, she went from sick, hospitalized, to not alive anymore. And they had gone to great lengths. Some fortune of fate got them to where they got flown out to California, to UCLA Medical Center, and they were out there. And they were in line to get they were for a donor. One of her organs was toast. And literally with that quickly, within, I think, 5 days from that, no more. And it was just like, wow, holy crud, life is too fleeting. It's something that we all need to remember that's really important. At any time, something could happen to any one of us. And we need to remember to live and enjoy and love. Not just our specific person, but love those around us. Love our friends, love our neighbors, love the person at the coffee store, at the convenience store, at the gas station. Life's too short. It's too short to be worried about things that we don't currently have. It's too short to be focused on things that in the big picture may not matter. Yes, keep trying to create. I'm not trying to take from that, but I'm trying to put that perspective there because that's what it did for me. My focus has been very on work, very on trying to make all these things happen, trying to keep a lot of things I'm working on simultaneously going. And sometimes you got to remember, whoa, pump the brakes a little, stop and smell the roses, enjoy what you're having. So after some emotional difficulties and getting it out while I was out there and finally talked to that friend that was in the meeting, and then I called the mutual friend between me and him, and she put together something really cool that some people are donating towards. And so just, again, doing all we can do, but it worked out for the best it could, considering how grim and horrible it is. And I will be probably hearing from my friend soon. I don't want to pester too much. He's kind of with family and everything. So again, it's one of those things. But then on my plane flight coming home, sitting next to this little girl, they initially tried to take, I don't know all the details, but I was lucky enough to be able to get this seat by this window because initially I had a center seat, and about 3 hours early, I hit them up, and they're like, yeah, we can put you in a window. And I'm like, all right, cool. So through the fate of everything, I ended up here. And before the flight took off, there was a young lady, about a 5-year-old almost, sitting next to me, and her mother. And, on the way home, I'm more or less just trying to ignore him. I'm sitting next to a kid. She keeps kicking me in the leg and stuff. So universe, again, is not letting things worked out quite how I wanted. And I'd only had, about 3 hours of sleep the night before. So I was exhausted. I planned this trip horribly. So eventually at some point, I'm kind of like, I can't sleep on the plane, so whatever. And I finally I take off my headphones. I'm done watching whatever I was watching. And she starts talking with me, just kind of being friendly, just chatting, and telling me why she's going out there, what's going on. And then starts to talk about her daughter. And her daughter's kind of had a couple surgeries. She had a couple brain surgeries for that matter. And I'd already noticed that she had little braces for her ankles in her shoes. So I was like, interesting. But she seemed completely normal in every way, shape, and form. She looked normal. I mean, I didn't know how old she was until later on in the conversation, but she looked fine for that age. Maybe she's a little small. I don't know. I don't have kids to compare them to, right? Didn't have a little ruler be like, your daughter, right? But anyway, she tells me, yeah, she's got some bad ankles because of this bone thing she's got going on. I'm like, wow. And then she's like, yeah, she had a couple brain surgeries, like I said. And then it was, I asked, I'm like, so what is something that can be cured, something that's going to improve? What's the deal? And she goes, it's terminal. And what it's doing is it's erasing her genes, literally going in and removing parts of her chromosomes, like it's removing parts of her genes. It's changing her, which is generally not good. So this young girl at 5 years old is traveling out to Southern California. She wanted to go to Disneyland. Her mom and her had never been, going to the happiest place on earth. They're going to enjoy every single day. This lady lost her mother and father both within the last few years, which is crazy. And now her daughter, without a father, mind you, is not going to live that long. Again, you wouldn't know it by looking at her. She seems fine, and she handled the flight beautifully. They were worried about that. I guess her motor skills are a little behind, but outside of that, she's sharp as a tack. But listening to this little girl and looking in her eyes and seeing the life in her eyes, again, another huge reminder. Dude, enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. Do the things you enjoy doing. Be with the people you love. Love the people you're with. Just enjoy yourself more. Stop worrying about work as much. Stop stressing out about work as much. Enjoy yourself. And for all of us that are so focused on manifesting, on trying to get something that we don't currently have, Love yourself. Love your life. Love where you're at. It's fleeting. It's a short scope and time. Things are the way they are for the reason. These people popped into my life for a reason. Our situations are the way they are right now for a reason. Now, they could be in change. They're in process. And that's part of that strength that we're learning. There's a development here. But at the same time, learning to understand and appreciate and love where we are right now. This gift of life, this gift, all of us at some point have to walk through that ending part. All of us. It's a part of life. It's a very much a part of life. So remember that each day is a day that really should be lived maybe like it's your last. Who knows? Because who knows what's around the corner? Appreciate. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate everything you have. Appreciate every moment you have. Live and love like it's your last chance to do it. And sometimes when we look at life a little differently like that, it puts perspective on some of the things that we thought were a really big deal to us at the moment, and really helps us realize what really does matter and what really is a big deal. Going out with a great song, rather popular one, by a band that some people either love or absolutely hate and make fun of, but either way. And the lead singer's involved in some very strange, interesting stuff. It's Blink-182, All the Small Things. It's right here on Dan Radio Style.
All the small